All right, all y'all are being recorded, so don't do anything too crazy. Hey, check this out. Check this out. Let's talk about yesterday at the Elliott Group. So yesterday, Wes already knows the story a little bit. Yesterday, we had some pretty badass people swing on in. So we're sitting down here. This, I don't know, when did this all start happening? Really about 3 months ago, but it all became reality a couple weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. Andy Elliott is, now we've got a couple military, handful of military guys on here, so you're gonna love it now. Andy Elliott is most likely.
We gotta pump this up, dude. Guys, I don't think you understand the
No.
severity. I don't think you understand. Like, I'm not a military guy, okay? I'm not. I may look like a military guy, but dude, I bleed. I bleed red, white, and blue, man. I am all about this country, 100% American. And the fact that the U.S. military.
Don't let them know what's going on just yet.
Oh,
Like, who was here? Well, what is the military?
it
It's a
was
big.
a captain. Captain
Well,
Crunch?
hold on.
No.
Captain Crunch was here.
Captain Crunch was here.
So y'all don't get it because the U.S. Army, the U.S. government, whatever the hell you consider them, whatever your political thoughts are, put that shit aside. The U.S. government and the U.S. military are the largest employers in the United fucking States. They are a big ass business that just do a lot of cool shit that affect our lives occasionally.
Okay.
Sometimes, if you just don't ignore it. So, what happened yesterday? So, about 2 weeks ago, we found out word of what's going to happen. Andy Elliott, yep, that's my boy from Guam.
Quick shout out to Philip, guys. This is dedication. Philip is from Guam, and it's midnight, and he's tuning in.
He's badass too. He's a military guy. So, here's what happens. We have a recruiter, a U.S. Army recruiter, and for anyone here in the military, y'all probably are thinking, "Ah, fuck the recruiters." But it came to light to me yesterday because no one gets into the military without going for a recruiter. So there'd be no badass SEALs, there'd be no badass Green Berets and shit without the recruiter. All these movies we watch about these war stories, those movies wouldn't exist if it wasn't for the recruiter.
You're saying no Forrest Gump?
There'd be no Forrest Gump without the recruiter. That guy would be still running around football fields, jacking shit up, chasing her, would have never got her.
He never did get her until the
He
very
never
end.
got her. I watched that movie like 10, 20, I don't know, how old am I? 30 years ago.
Listen, everything's relatable to what we're talking about, just so you guys know. Like, you are a star in your own life. But anyway, back to the recruiter, back to the baddest thing that has happened thus far.
So the military don't exist without recruiters, right? So 2-3 months ago, some random recruiter shows up to one of our free Saturday workouts before a seminar. Just some guy in the Army is like, "Hey, I want to work out with you dudes. I want to see what's going on. I want to see if you're real." Andy kind of knows he's there, doesn't really, think anything of it, just does his own damn thing, does the thing he does every day. And this guy's like, holy shit. So this guy goes back to wherever the hell he works. I was never in the recruiter branch thing, so I don't know their structuring. But goes back to where he works, tells all his boys, I was like, hey, there's this badass over in Scottsdale, Arizona. Like, we could learn something. Like, right now the recruiting, corps isn't doing as well. They're not hitting their mission. They're not hitting their targets. And whatever you think they are, they're freaking salespeople, just on a high level. They're not really, selling cars. They're not selling life insurance or whatever. They're selling a better future is essentially what they're selling, right? I joined the military because I didn't want to know what I do. I didn't know what I was doing with my life. Thought it would be a good idea to join. For the most part, it was. So he goes back to all his officers, his people that lead him, and is like, dude, there's this badass over in Scottsdale. So was it last seminar? Last seminar, they send is about 6, 7 random recruiters. We greet them how we do, treat them like just normal people, come in there. I took a little fancy to them just because of the military connection. I'm like, I see how this would work for you guys. Let's chat a little bit. Don't really think too much of it. They sit through a seminar. 2 of them kind of look like, what the hell did I just go through? The other 4 or 5 of them are like, holy shit, these guys are cool. Let's do this shit. So a couple weeks ago, we find out we're going to have a 3-star general in the house. For those of you that don't know, imagine, I don't know, Bill Gates showing up. Like, there's someone above him. It's called the president, but there really ain't much in between that guy. Little Elon in the house.
Yeah.
So
These guys are badasses, guys. These aren't just like, your regular civilian guys that are pumped up and have the stars on their chest and everything. Like, these are real guys that have kicked and put boots to ass for our country. Like, very, very sought after, very like, what's the word? All the stars and stuff, very, not striped. I'm not military, man. I don't know. Polished? What am I saying?
Polished. They've been in for a while. They got a lot of freaking influence. Not only they have a lot of influence on the military side of what happens and what happens in our life. Like they're at the Pentagon, they're talking about all these crazy plans that none of us get to know about. They're doing some badass shit. So they come down here to Scottsdale, Arizona, or Fountain Hills for you guys that have been here, guys and gals that have been here and know that we just say Scottsdale because no one knows what the hell Fountain Hills is. Comes out here to beautiful Fountain Hills. And dude, when they first got here, one guy, remember that dude in the blue shirt? He kind of looks to the side. He goes, are we, like, Andy's giving him a tour of the facility, right? You come to our house, we're going to show you around the house. It's just common freaking courtesy. So Andy's giving him a tour of the facility. And one of these guys looks over, he's like, hey, are we gonna actually like sit down and talk about anything? There's like, yeah, you'll get there, don't worry. So they're kind of, not in their norm. They've been taken out of what they normally do. The military is very controlled.
They're very strict.
And we're very controlled here. We have a lot of discipline, we do a lot of stuff, but from an outside looking in, it is fucking chaos on every day. But you figure it out once you've been here for about, I don't know, I'm 4 months in and I'm still trying to figure it out. So Chris tells me you get it figured out, it becomes easier. I'm waiting for that day. It'll be awesome. But right now I just go with the flow. So this guy's like, what's going on? We're taking a tour. Like, we don't need a tour. We're trying to figure out what we want to do with you guys. We continue the tour.
Wait, the guy in the blue shirt that looked mortified when we all tried to hug him. Yeah, like, first of all, how many of you have been down here to a seminar? Raise hands. Dude, it should be everybody. Grace, why have you not been down to a seminar and come seen us here in beautiful Scottsdale?
Hopefully coming to the next one. If not, I'll be there in November.
Okay, perfect. So when you, like I said, when you come to our house, Jackie and Andy have created a culture unlike anything else. Okay. When you come here, your family, before you even get into the lion's den, you'll be hugged by 13 of us, if not thrown in the air, if not thrown massive love. I mean, Seth, everybody who's been down here has seen it. There's a reason that this culture is unlike anything else. Okay. Military is very strategic. These guys come in, they think they're the ones, they think they're going to own everything. Now, when we talk about recreation, we always talk about going to another level, finding your next skill set, putting your back against the wall. I think from being with Andy for over a year, and Jonathan can attest to this, we're going to see a seminar. Andy's going to come up, he's going to talk about his thing, his mindset, overcoming objections, this and that. Oh, holy shit. I'm sitting there and literally, he starts bringing out facts, statistics, everything about the U.S. military, stars, ranks, generals, this. He knew everything. Everything. These guys literally sat there and their jaws hit the fucking ground.
Well, then there was that one sergeant major. He wasn't a recruiter. He was a career counselor. So what that is essentially someone inside the military that works with the units, helps people stay in, the enlisted folk that have to actually re-enlist and do through that. So this guy sitting there could not smile. So Andy starts ripping on him once or twice, just kind of going at him, like every joke he could make, like everyone's laughing, everyone's having a good time, except for this guy.
Just stone face.
Oh, finally, by the end of it, this guy's personality had changed in the course of 4 hours. He's laughing, he's enjoying it, he's shaking hands, he's starting to have a big old smile on your face. I mean, if you were ever in the military, Philip down there, Wes, maybe a couple of other you guys and gals, y'all know the entire sergeant major's job is to like yell at you to keep you off his fucking grass. He is the highest enlisted guy in the military, and he just tells you to stay off the fucking grass. That's his job. That's what he gets paid to do. So very.
And your reflective belt. Don't forget your reflective belt.
And wear the damn PT reflective belt.
What is that?
So in the military, because you're 6'2". You're in camo, generally in the middle of a city, like you're running on streets and sidewalks, so you blend in woodland camo. It's very hard to see you. Or in your shiny ass, already reflective physical fitness clothes they give you.
Like a Walmart vest?
Well, it's like a Walmart vest, but it's this 1.5 inch like belt you wear, and you wear it sideways across your uniform. Well, no, that's in the winter gear.
Wait,
Normal gear you wear it
like a school crossing guard.
Yeah, like a school crossing guard.
Oh.
So because you can't see a group of 60 people running up and down the street, they put reflectors on you. Because some asshole got hit by a car one day, and then some fucking officer was like, how do we fix this shit? Y'all are wearing reflective belts. And since then, no one's ever been injured running in the military. Never. Has not happened. So they fixed it. So this guy's job is to enforce standards, whether they be standards that make sense or you're wearing a reflective belt in a group of 60 people. Who the hell knows?
God, no wonder. I mean,
But they don't
I should
smile.
have signed up for the military. I would have been the reflective belt guy. That would have been my job. 100%.
Oh, Chris, you would have loved it.
Yeah.
Like yelling at people just to like stupid shit?
Oh. that's
Like you
weird
think
to
stay
me.
off your grass is fake? No, you don't walk on grass in the military.
Really?
Oh, you've got a big old park. Imagine Fountain Hills Park, right? We want to get to the other side.
There's no grass in Fountain Hills, guys, just so you know, like when you come here, everyone's like, oh, you need to go to Sedona, you need to go here, you need to go to this to Arizona. I'm like, why? So I can look at more fucking rocks? There's rocks everywhere, guys. I found one patch of grass.
So
One.
imagine a park. Imagine you're at New York Central Park, right? Big
Okay.
ass park. You
Yep.
want to get to the other side. What's the best way to get there? Straight line. Quickest way between 2 points is straight line? Fuck no, you're walking around. You don't walk on grass. It's against the fucking rules. Your boots cannot handle that shit. So
Anyway,
We've
we've
digressed.
gone on a way big tangent. Anyway, the point of the whole story, guys, there's big things happening, okay? Big moves. Andy's recreating every single day. The fact that the US military, whether it's recruiters or anything, every single step and your role in a company is what we're going to talk about today, okay? Whether you're a recruiter, whether whatever, I don't think people put enough emphasis on what you do, and maybe you don't look inward and figure out that you are actually an entrepreneur. Like, how many, is everyone in car sales today?
West is solar.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks like everybody but West is car sales.
Okay. You have to own that role. You are an entrepreneur within a business and you have the opportunity to make more money, more influence, change people's lives in more ways than you know. Wes, what's up, man?
We call that entrepreneur in the solar industry.
Yes,
I like that.
I like that.
Since Corey and Grace have their cameras on and I can interact with them a little more, Ken stepped away. Grace, Corey, do y'all want to stay? Oh, there we go. Zoom user. What's your name?
Is that Seth?
I recognize it. Is
It's
it?
Seth?
Yeah, it's me, man. I'm just in the space.
Weird,
Yeah,
man.
no
Now
shit.
it looks like a baby.
And create a freaking Zoom account. Damn it. It's free.
Yeah, the fact that you're on the world right now eating bananas. I don't know what the fuck it's.
Fucking
I love it.
Elon.
I love it. Anyway,
So Grace, Seth, Corey, Ken, if you want to chime in, like raise your hand. I mean, do you want to be individual salespeople for the rest of your life? Is that something you're looking to do? And if you are, it is totally cool. Or do you dream of, not dream, but do you have a goal? Are you going to get into management one day, finance, GM, GSM? Are y'all staying where you're at? Or are you getting to the next level?
anybody can chime in.
For sure, probably going to the next level. I mean, sales is unlimited, but being a GM, I mean, it's also unlimited. Obviously, like Andy's living proof of that. So he's made tons of money in that aspect. And if I can be a leader one day and take all these other people with me and, make this dealership or whatever dealership I land at like 100% better, then that's 100% my goal. So.
I like that.
Ken, Grace, Seth, y'all about the same? Thumbs
Yeah,
up?
definitely. My experience actually isn't in sales. My experience is in leadership and management. I was a GM with McDonald's for years and years and did training for them. So that part I'm solidified on. I'm here to learn how to be a salesperson because I want to get my foot in the door and build my own empire instead of building someone else's. So
Okay.
What aspect
We're
of
hiring.
sales, as far as like what business are you trying to get into, Grace?
I'm with Real Financial, so I'm selling life insurance.
Oh, perfect.
Ooh.
Yeah,
we
great
got some
vessel.
other people.
So
So I mean, that's a great scalable business. That's
Yeah.
something that once you get it figured out a little bit, you already have some leadership role. I mean, hell, you were leading to McDonald's. That's tough as hell. Because what we'll talk about here in a minute is employee retention. And I can imagine, I've never worked fast food, but I can imagine from my experience, it is tough keeping someone happy flipping burgers. Like you've got to have a really good culture. And let's be real with y'all. No one dreams of working for McDonald's. It's typically a joke. Like I've made quite a few jokes about it, but no one dreams of it. But it is a great place. There's been millionaires that started off their career working at McDonald's. You can go find them on YouTube. You can go learn their stories. And every one of them says one of my best experiences was flipping burgers because it teaches you more about yourself than you'll ever know. Like fuck college. I tried it, didn't like it, finished it later in life. I didn't learn shit. I've never put one of my degrees on my resume, but I've always put my life experience, my work experience, because that goes 20 times further. And Grace, I mean, you're going to do awesome if you were able to learn how to retain a McDonald's staff. I know you lost people, I know you hired people, but at the same time, if you just have the skills to maybe take someone a little further than they thought, give them a culture, give them something that McDonald's, provides for them. I know they have like schooling opportunities, things like that. retain that employee for a while, it'll go a long way in the insurance world because you know how to build a team, you know how to build a culture, learn the insurance game, get to the point where you're starting to master it. Once you master it, you can train on it. Once you train on it and you have a little leadership skills, then you can scale. It gets massive.
All I'm gonna say is 26 years in hospitality, Grace, I feel you. Okay, I was never supposed to be in car sales, ever. I was a manager, I was an owner. Hospitality was my entire life before I met Andy, before I did car sales. The retention in hospitality, the overturn is ridiculous.
Is that why you bring me those sandwiches every week?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, Chris, he can cut the perfect heart of this. All the crust is gone. Perfect heart shape. This guy's legit. Bologna with a little mustard.
Yeah, it's easy, but you gotta have it grilled. But anyway, yeah, hospitality, you have, and I'm just gonna tell you, hospitality and customer service make the best sales, best. When I started, okay, in Clearwater Toyota, a little background story. Once you realize that you're not selling a product, but you're selling the situation, the excitement, the emotion, every single one of you on this call, you guys can literally, oh my God, you get 30x your money once you literally understand the process of sales. Everybody thinks it's a one-time, here's the product, do you want it? Well, let me ask you this, what's the believability behind the product and what the product does? Okay. Grace, I know you were at McDonald's, but when we learned, and when I was in, you know, my pizza restaurant, before that, I worked at a steakhouse. And we would always talk about, it's not the steak, it's the sizzle. It's the sizzle words. Everybody knows when you bring out a fajita.
Ooh,
What's the
fajitas.
most exciting thing when a fajita comes out in the dining room? Everybody turns their fucking heads. Everybody. I don't care who the fuck you are. That skillet comes out, shit's spittering and spattering and steam's coming up and everyone's like,
Hey, on another note though, doesn't it piss you off? When you go to a Mexican restaurant, you start looking at the menu, you pick anything but the fajita, and you're waiting for your shit and someone gets a fajita brought out, it pisses you off. Don't order anything but the fajita. The
next
fajita's
thing we're
the
gonna
best
talk about is triggers.
I like my
Again, it's
fajitas.
how you make you feel, but I go back to, like I said, we're talking about the restaurant, we're talking about the experience, like insurance. Okay, when you're, Grace, when you do this real financial thing, it's not about the product. Everybody knows they need car insurance. Or, I'm sorry, health insurance. Everybody knows they need a car. It's not that they need it, it's the emotional experience. When I bought a Hellcat, it took me forever because I wanted to find the right salesperson, the right car, the right emotion, how the car sounded, the color, everything like that. It's not a buying experience, but the word experience is what it takes. When you can make that person feel what you feel, take your state and push it into them, dude, it's game over.
So how the hell do you increase your human capital at that point? I mean, human capital is the most expensive thing we have, but it's also the most profitable thing we have in a business. Now, for those of you who are still, selling for yourself and
Hold
our
on, time out. Corey, what do you mean if I'm eating bologna, I got a problem? That's God's meat right there, buddy. If you weren't brought up on
Hold up.
bologna sandwiches, then man, you had a great childhood.
No, I was for sure brought up on bologna, but I've just scaled up, I guess, if you want to say, from
Hey, listen,
bologna. I
I'm just
always
saying,
get
every now and then,
store
if you
cut
guys want to
ham.
ground, if you guys want to ground yourself and take you back to that humble state, nice fried bologna sandwich, white bread, a little mustard. Woo! Man, you can hear the bicycle with the playing cards and the spokes, right? A couple of people know what I'm talking about.
we had to ban Chris for microwaving spam in the office, so he's not progressing too damn much. So let's talk about the human capital and hiring of employees. This will also work for you. Now, for y'all that don't have employees yet, but want to get to the next level, you're one step away. Corey, Seth, y'all talked about, hey, sales management, GM, growing who you are. You're literally one step away. It doesn't take that damn long. It just takes some leadership skills, some training skills. I made sales manager in 7 months, GM in a year and a half after that. So anyone who tells you otherwise, someone told me it takes 5 years to make sales manager minimum. I said, fucking hire me then. That's how I started off. It was fucking fun. I love being told no. I'm into it. But what it takes is the ability to create, gain, and grab more human capital and retain that human capital. Human capital, for those of y'all that have never ran a company, is the most expensive expenditure you will have. Car salespeople, people that got hired at a car dealership. It costs an average of $4,500 to $7,000 to hire your ass before they've even paid you a check. It takes man hours to interview. It takes, LinkedIn, not Instagram. What's the one where you hire people on? Indeed.
Yes.
Dealerships run Indeed ads and crap like that. insurance, y'all running Indeed ads. Hell, the US Army occasionally does it with, who wants to be a cop? Join the fucking army. We've got an MP. Like, shit, tricked me. So it takes a lot of capital just to find the right employees, which is kind of goofy because why the hell are you spending so much money? One of my favorite places to find employees is I'd go out to a restaurant with the family, right? And if I had a server who just went a little bit above and beyond, I guarantee you they got my business card, and I'd mess with them a little bit, not too much. I'm very respectful when I go out to people, but I'd always ask them just a random question and see how they dealt with something that they wouldn't typically get asked, but was semi-relevant. I didn't care what they said. I probably wasn't even ordering what the hell I was talking about. I was just messing with you to see how you react to that question. Are you funny? Does it stump you? Do you get nervous, run away, and go get a manager? No one ever did that because it wasn't that type of question. But I just want to see how you react to my question. And then if you're able to carry out a conversation, and if you try, if you're serving at a restaurant, you're a salesperson. You are working for tips. That's your damn commission.
Yep.
So you better be able to make them smile. You better make a best friend. You better make them feel so bad they don't leave you 50% when they leave, that they leave you 80% just because you're so gosh dang good at your job.
And you better know that if they're gonna buy, or they're gonna get 7 appetizers that are all fried with a chicken fried steak, extra gravy, mashed potatoes, you damn sure they're gonna get a Diet Coke because they're watching their figure.
So for all of y'all that are going to be in management that you're looking for it, first thing is learn the train, but also start looking around areas in your life of people that you can bring into your life that'll help you. Grace, you really need to be looking into it. It's going to be a freaking hard sell. Hey, do you want to make like 600 phone calls a day and not get paid? It's going to be great. You'll get paid in the future, but it's going to be great. But it's a huge thing you can do. People in the automotive space, look around you. Bring someone in that you meet. If you're out there, you're at a restaurant, you're at an event downtown, whatever you're doing, you're like, this is a great person. I'd like to be around this person. I think they crush me at sales. Bring that son of a bitch in with you. You don't have to be the best salesperson to be a great leader. You have to know how to multiply people. So that being said, as you're growing, as you're looking around, sell yourself to, the human capital that you're going to bring in later. You've got to sell yourself to that human capital. You've got to put yourself around the right people. Do people know who you are? And do people want to work for you in your company? Social media is a way to brand that. Look at the Elliott Group. Andy's done a terrific job of branding this company to the point where everyone wants to work. I mean, what's funny is they did that post the other day. Hey, if the Elliott Group was hiring, it was hundreds of people. Oh, I'd leave my house right now. I'd leave. Bullshit. Because a couple of people got a phone call.
Yep.
So before you talk, always remember.
They're like, dude, I'd do anything, man. I would do. So I call them. Hey, man, here's the deal. Andy's wants you to come down. It's a 2-week trial. You got to sell everything. You got to move this and that. If it doesn't work out, you got to figure it out. Okay, if you're not willing to do anything,
So
I don't get it.
keep it in mind.
When was this post?
It was a couple months ago.
Oh, I was like, I never even saw that.
Yeah, it was like half real. I wouldn't even say half real. It was partially real, but it did call a lot of people out of, hey, if you say you're going to do something, be ready to do it. Be able to back your words, because sometimes opportunities come that quick. Sometimes opportunities are one phone call, and they may not ever reach out. When I reach out to a lot of people, I'll tell them, I'm like, look, do you want to be better? Do you want to get a better version of yourself? They'll go like, yeah, but like, look, don't give me that butt bullshit. I think I probably beat up 1 or 2 of you on here. 1, 2, 3 of you on here at least. You got to be ready to take opportunities. You got to be ready to take risk in your life, because all of sales is risk. All of, hiring the right employees is risk. If you don't have the ability to assume risk in your life, you're not going to get anywhere. You're going to be fucking comfortable. Hire employees is the same way though. So human capital, hire employees, create a culture that people want to work for, and know how to train, because training people goes right into the retention of people. If you're constantly hiring and getting rid of people, it is expensive. You will lose a lot of money, and you will cost your company millions. Dealerships, for example, prior to COVID, right now at a dealership, Grace, I don't know if you ever worked for a dealership, but here's the reality of a dealership. Right now, people are making 3 times what they're worth. So Corey, Phillip, Seth, Ken, I hate to break it to you guys, whatever you're making right now, and Kim's, I think that might be Ken's wife, so maybe she's gonna hear this and she's gonna be like, what the fuck? Ken, you guys, whatever you're making right now, in 12 months, you're gonna make 1/3 of what you're making. And do you wanna go back on that lifestyle? Do you wanna drop to that income, or are you loving what you're making right now? The auto industry is different right now than it ever has been. You're making more money than you ever have. Supply and demand, it's a great thing. We'll talk about that later, but you can fix it. You can solve it. You can prevent it. Another conversation. Here's the thing though, an average dealership prior to COVID had a retention rate of less than 90 days for new employees. And that included all the 10, 15, 20-year guys and gals that were there. Their average employee was less than 90 days at dealerships. There are so many people that walk into the dealership floor. Hey, I'm going to crush it. I've heard good things about sales. I know what, because there's people who make a lot of money in it, a lot of money. So they've heard all this and then they make it 2 weeks. And why do they make it 2 weeks? It has nothing to do with them. I mean, a little bit to do with them, but 90% is because of what they walked into, the culture they walked into, the training and support they got. Most people stick around at a dealership, and this could be true for you insurance people and solar people too. A lot of people stick around there, they start looking around and they go, the hell am I supposed to be doing here? The fuck is this place? Like, no one talks to me. They never trained me. They had me fill out some HR crap. They handed me the sheet that says 10 steps to the sale. They said, read it and figure it out. They don't even put together a whole fucking sentence. There's more grammar errors than Jonathan's Facebook posts. Like, it's bad. So they leave. They leave because of the culture and because of the mentorship that they get. Then you look at an organization like Keller Williams Realty. Keller Williams Realty, when you start with Keller Williams, you pay to get in, you got to pay your MLS dues, your realtor dues, your Keller Williams fees, you got to pay for office space, you got to pay for your phone, you got to pay for your car to get around, you got to pay for, if you want to be on Zillow, you got to pay for your leads. You pay for everything. They don't pay you a penny. Grace, you're in the exact same position. You pay for everything, every opportunity you get. You pay for your training, you pay for your leads, you pay for everything. And you've got to figure it the hell out, and they retain employees longer than 90 days, or contractors, whatever you want to call them. They retain more than 90 days. Keller Williams is a little different. They actually do have in the realty world, if anyone ever considers they're a great company to get into, they, beat the shit out of your commissions a little bit, but for your first year, they will provide more free training than any other brokerage I know about. But here's the thing, Andy brings this up a lot. Car salespeople in here, imagine this, you're a leader, right? Or you're a car salesperson. You're actually training your staff, you're helping them out, you're, getting them to where they need to be, because you will have a stronger staff. If you have 10 people selling 10 cars a month, so 100 cars, that's better than one guy selling 30 cars a month and everyone else averaging 5. I think that math works out. If not, just fucking math check me later. Chris is a math magician, he'll figure it out. But so let's pretend a dealership was operating like someone like Grace and West here, who were 1099 employees. Let's just pretend that. Let's pretend Chris and I are the management team and we're like, oh, we're the owners, we're badasses, we own this bitch. So we come out Monday morning meeting, we're like, hey, Seth, Ken, Corey, and Phil, dude, this is what we're doing, we're changing it up. Here's $20,000. So I come out with a stack of green cash, here's 20 grand, bam, hand it to you, give it to everyone, let them feel it, let them smell it in their hand. And then I tell you, hey, this is what's gonna happen. That's 20 cars this month. Right there, $1,000 per car you sell, 20. Every car you fall short, you owe me $1,000. Would your mindset change a little bit? Would you start figuring out how the fuck you're gonna sell 20 cars and not hope to sell 20 cars?
Mm-hmm.
Because you've seen it, you've tasted it. I promise you, your close ratio would go up. You would take the job a little more serious. You would learn. Now let's imagine you're a leader. Let's imagine you walk out with 100 grand. I think that means you have 5 employees with my example. Yeah, 5 employees, 20 grand, 20 grand, 20 grand, 20 grand, 20 grand. Now, they're making 25%, 1/4 of your commission, right? Whatever the hell it may be. That's just the math. 25%. So the dealership's going to make 75%. As a leader, you're paid on typically a much smaller percentage, but the whole percentage of the gross. So you've already paid out $100,000. The owner says, you ain't getting that money back. He goes, your employees, they'll owe it back to me. Your ass is going to owe it to me too. So that leader now is responsible at 5% for 100 grand. Do you think that son of a bitch is going to start training, hiring the right employees, making sure the right people are there? They will. They'll get out there and they'll do their freaking job. Do you know why owners of dealerships don't always agree with their management staff, or owners of companies, senior leaders are all, because that's exactly what they do. They have equity in the company. So they're spending $200,000, $500,000, you know, on advertisements, on, if you're W-2, on employee benefits, you know, for the people who don't make commission, they're spending the money to keep you there in hopes they're going to get a return. So that's why the owners quite often are like, hey, you guys need to train, you need to get better, but then you get to your management staff and they don't know how. And a lot of times it's not, they don't want to be bad people. They just haven't trained in a while themselves. They don't have any new skills. So what they taught you in the first 3-4 weeks, if that, they're done. That's their skill repertoire. They haven't worked a customer in 5 or 6 years, and they're not improving themselves. They're not growing on their own. So for those of you that are W-2 employees, try to imagine that. Try to imagine Seth on your ride to work, some jackass, your owner pulls up next to you and goes, Seth, here's 20 grand. I want 20 cars. You owe me $1,000 every car you don't sell. You'll figure it the hell out. Corey, same thing. Get that business ownership in your head. Grace, especially for you, when you start building a team, every one of those people should be 15,000 a month, 20,000 a month, whatever that number is for you and your team. Imagine giving it to them before they even start, and then give them the effort to make sure they don't have to pay it back, because if they pay it back, it's partially on you. And imagine to go from there. It'll change your mindset of how you look. Y'all 1099 folk, it's a little more real because that's legitimately how your business works. You invest money prior to ever earning a dollar. You don't invest, you don't get leads. Yeah, you can call your private book of business, you can call your sphere of influence, whatever the heck you call it. That shit dries up real quick. And to be honest with you, when I was selling real estate, even when I sold cars, if I had a family member or a close friend come in and was like, hey, John, hook me up. I'd be like, hey, half deal, bitches, someone come get this shit. I didn't want to sell my family and friends because they expected more. I had no problem taking a half deal for doing no work. Don't get me wrong. I signed up for that shit real quick, but I didn't want the whole deal because I didn't want to be responsible for all the crap they would want. They're the most needy people ever. They expect you to, you know, bend over backwards for them. Nope, half deal, bud. Save me a headache. I'll help out with I need be. I'll tell them it's a great deal, whatever. Move on. Get me this car deal. Half deal. Sorry, my bad. Take it. So, who you are y'all leaders? Do you train yourself? Do you train your staff initially? People like Corey, Seth, when there's a new person that comes on the team, you knew what it was like to start new in an industry. You had no one. You had to look out. The reason all of y'all are in this call because you reached out to Andy. Grace, slightly different situation. Wes, slightly different situation. But most of y'all were like, holy shit, I don't know what I am doing. So you get on the Google machine or someone told you about Andy Elliott and you're like, how the F do I sell a car? Bam, Andy pops up. You start listening to it and you're like, holy crap, why aren't we doing this at work? What is this? And you get hooked. And then you start going. Be that person for the new person that comes into your group. Be that leader. Go above and beyond. Don't, you know, it's like Chris and I are doing this Zoom call. Chris and I don't get fucking paid for this hour of time. But we're able to give more benefit to our people that hopefully later on, you know, it's going to help us in life. Hopefully we can bring all of you with us. And that's only going to bring us to bigger and greater places. But do shit without getting paid. Be a leader in your dealership. And then once you've, you know, got some initial training going, people know what's going on. They have a base to what they're doing on a daily basis. Don't let that shit stop. Once you let it stop, you become content. Once you become content, people get bored. They start looking for the next best thing. Andy says it a lot. Are your people recruitable? Wes leads a team here. Wes, if I came to one of your solar teammates and was like, hey man, I'm with ABC Solar. We're a badass team. I'm going to do this. What have you been making this month? You average 15,000 a month. Okay. I'm going to give you a $20,000 salary, but I don't want you making 20 G's. I want you making 40 G's a month, but I'm going to give you a $20,000 salary for 90 days. Wes, are your people coming to work for me?
No. No way.
Coming to work for me, they are. But the typical guy, they ain't doing it. I'm messing with you, Wes. That's how your team should be. Money shouldn't matter. You should be able to not fear your competitor because they know the rest of the world is crap and they know that they are on the best team. They see the level of scalability. You're putting in your time to train them. You're helping them get to the next level and you're providing enough value. It's like medical insurance paid for by the employer. You're providing enough value that at a few extra $1,000, like, nah, this is the place I need to be. They've got the culture. I get everything I need. I've worked at bullshit jobs where they don't train, where I get bored. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. That's why I'm here. I'm sticking with them. So that's where you want to go for the next step, is continued training. And then there always has to be growth within. I asked a few of you earlier on this call, do you want to be a single salesperson or do you want to be a team leader? Got some mixed reviews, got some hesitation. It doesn't matter. You can sell at the bottom level and make millions. You don't have to be a team leader. You don't have to scale. But if you are going to scale, there's a lot of people that like that. They like leadership roles. Now, there's some people that just want to boss people around and be on top and be a bastard. Like, fuck that. That's, you know, in the auto industry, that's a desk monkey. Hopefully none of your managers are close enough to hear that shit. But if you just can fucking push numbers, yell at people and tell them to go do their job, you're not a leader. But there's a lot of people in this world that truly want a leadership position, and they want someone just to support them so that they can get to the next level. No one's born a leader. Some people have leadership characteristics, but you have to train. You have to train yourself on the tactical side or the technical side, the knowledge that you have to do your job. And then you have to train yourself on how to take care of people, lead people, and, you know, elevate people to the next level. I can't just get on a call like this and sit here monotone, talk to you about nothing, give you some boring ass value. Like, yeah, I can do that. You know, I could talk about the most boring shit for an hour and a half and tell you the 5 principles of leadership and this and that, but you're going to be fucking bored and you're not going to pay attention. And then secondly, what if I go tell you guys all this awesome shit about leadership and you have to do this in your life? You have to be disciplined. You have to constantly train yourself. Y'all come to a seminar and you guys see me, you know, fucking y'all are eating our half healthy food that we provide at seminars. And I fucking run down to Mickey D's. I'm getting a double Big Mac. I'm smoking a cigarette and fucking pounding a couple shots before the next go, right? Y'all gonna look at me and go, fuck that guy. Right? So as a leader, not only do you have to train, you have to, you know, be the person you say, you have to train so you can constantly train others, but you also have to be the person you say you're going to be. So that all goes into retention of long-term employees. One sec, Wes, losing a long-term employee costs you more than losing a 60-day employee, because that person you put more time and effort into. Hopefully, if not, fuck you, you just suck and they're gone. So we got initial, continued, and then an idea of, is there potential growth in this company? Am I stuck here or can I move up? Most companies, you can move up. So don't get, you know, if you're sitting there, if you've been in a dealership for 2 years and you're like, man, I've been wanting an F&I position for a while, or you're sitting at Real Financial and you're like, hey, I want to be a senior insurance leader. Sorry, I'll learn the name, Grace, I promise. And you've been sitting there for 2 years, it just hasn't happened yet. It doesn't mean it's not going to happen. It doesn't mean it's a bad company. It just means there's something that needs to click or something. For people like Grace and Wes, 90% of it is, hey, I want to be a team leader. It's like, all right, give it a shot, see what happens. You'll lose money if you suck. So it doesn't really cost us anything. You're paying for your leads. But for y'all at dealerships, W-2 employees in sales, you're a step away. We talk about it a lot, and I went into it. Employee versus business owner. That's just the mindset of what you take in to where you go to work. For you W-2 employees, I talked a lot about, hey, here's 20 grand. Sell 20 cars or give me $1,000 back per car. That's legitimately the mindset you have. If I hand Donald $20,000 at the beginning of the month and I'm like, Donald, no bullshit this month, $1,000 a car, I'm paying you up front because I trust you, because I know you can do it. Donald, you sell me those cars. Donald, you sell 19 cars, you owe me $1,000. You sell 15 cars, you're paying back 5 grand. You're going to start looking at stuff differently. You're going to start finding money within the dealership. You're going to quit wasting time, and you're going to quit wasting time. That's the big one, is you're going to quit wasting time, and you're going to make sure you know how to do your job. Because when you fail to close a customer, you're going to be like, oh shit, that cost me $1,000 potentially. And you're going to take it serious. Average lead at a dealership prior to COVID, when I was a GM of a store, average person we sold cost us over $500 to retain. So think about that, $500 to get that customer. So over $500 to get the customer. I pay a commission on that. I pay my management on that. I pay my F&I on that. I pay the lights on that. It is freaking expensive to run a business. So treat the leads like they're yours. Treat that bullshit TrueCar lead that comes in and says, I want the best price for my trade and I want 17 offers and I'm going to pick the fucking best. You ain't going to give them that, but go above and beyond for that person. Be different. Get their ass in. Insurance, solar. Same thing. And I know you guys grind way harder because you're paying for the shit. But you get that lead that comes in, hey, I'm gonna have 17 different quotes prior to picking one. I just want to hear your proposal, and fuck that. Close them on the first fucking quote. Work that lead like it's any other lead because you paid for it. The insurance and solar people are like, I do. Trust me. Holy shit, these things are fucking expensive. I'm tired of paying for them. I'm running out of them. Fuck that guy. Until he tells me to fuck off, we're going. Say, Wes is going to door knock him 12 times. He doesn't even know if it's the right house. He's like, is this James? No. Well, great. Guess what? You guys love paying your power bill? Now, neither do I. That shit sucks ass. And sells them. Wasn't even James. All right. Remember who you are as a business owner and generating human capital. You are human capital, and it's not a bad thing. That's not to demean you, but remember who they are. What are you doing with your human capital? Are you using your human capital to generate business, or are you simply letting them work your business's business? Are they generating things outside the company and bringing it within the company? Or are they stealing? Are they just strictly living off what the company provides? Dealerships do this a lot, and I get mixed reviews. I get 80% of people that believe the way I believe and 20% of the people that are wrong. I talk to salespeople and managers all the time. Hey, you guys want to learn how to generate leads that the dealership's not even getting the opportunity to get? No, man, it's the dealership's responsibility to provide all leads. That's why they pay me. The fuck? So is it your mommy's responsibility to still make sure you get dinner every fucking night? You're 35 years old. No, it's not. It's your responsibility to have success. Yes, the dealership's paying for leads. Those are fun. But do you get paid when you sell a vehicle? You're not an hourly employee. Now, if you're at one of those weird dealerships that's a salary or an hourly, first of all, quit. Second of all, if I'm working that, fuck that shit. I ain't doing anything. I'm doing the bare minimum if I ain't getting any benefit. But for 99% of dealerships out there, any business you bring in will pay you more. It will make the dealership more money. When dealerships make more money, they spend more money. Dealerships are fucking greedy. They like money. The world revolves around money. They make more money. They spend more money to make more money. It's an easy concept. So are your employees doing extra to generate business? Insurance, solar, 1099. Y'all go out there every day. You're hitting up Facebook. Half of y'all are realtors. I wish I had a realtor on because I love realtors. Y'all are freaking annoying. Leaving shit on my doorstep every day. Every single event I go into, they're, posting signs everywhere. They're handing out business cards. They're talking to everyone. They're annoying, but it freaking works. They generate business. Does everybody know who you are in the market? Everybody. If I'm thinking life insurance, do I think of Grace? I don't even know who I would, other than the people that work with us. Like Ty and stuff down here that work with us every day. If I was like one day, I need some life insurance, whole life, term life, whatever the hell the policy is, who would I call? I don't freaking know. Because nobody out there is a life insurance. I don't know a trusted life insurance person, other than Wes and the other couple solar guys I work with. If I ever decided I wanted solar, hell, Wes still has my damn power bill. I don't have no damn quote. But if I ever decided I wanted solar, I don't know who the hell I would call. I don't know who I would talk to, because the only people that, want to get in front of me are those who are shooting me. Okay, I'd probably call Wes, but are people who are shooting me DMs, and y'all have got those DMs on Instagram, like, hey, do you want to learn how to trade crypto? Hey, have you thought about solar? They'll never call you back. Establish a fucking relationship first, because maybe someday I do want solar, just not right then. You're not putting me in a buyer state, so I definitely don't want it then and there. But when I do, who do I think of? Right now, it's going to be Wes, because he's the only person I talk to consistently in the solar game. He's in Vegas, I'm in Phoenix. He's really not that far away. So if I ever did want solar, who do I know? If I ever do want life insurance, who do I know? Do people know you? Realtors are really good about that. They're constantly getting their names in front of you. They're constantly putting shit on your doorstep. They're constantly putting, at events, introducing themselves. Because all it takes is you to be in that buyer state that one time and go, you know what? I am thinking about selling my house. I am thinking about putting on solar. Holy shit, I've seen your card before. Yeah, fuck it. We'll use you, buddy. That's 90% of what it is, right? When I was a realtor doing like buyers meetings, listing meetings with customers, it wasn't that hard to close. They just had to know who you are. You had to get in front of them at the right time. Responsibilities of employees and responsibilities of employers. Do you have a standard for your employees, and do you have a standard as an employer? Do you maintain that standard? Is that standard universal, or is it case by case? If it's case by case, fix that shit. I don't care if it's Seth, Corey, Wes, y'all work for me, y'all do the same shit. I don't care if Wes puts up 200 grand a month and Ken puts up $2,000 a month. I don't give a shit about your income. I give a shit about your values to a company and what you do. So when you have employees, treat them the same way. Wes, you're making 2 million a year. You're being held to the exact same standard. You're being accountable to yourself, just like Ken is. Because Grace, you start hiring employees and you get some top players in there that are doing their own damn thing. Those new guys that are struggling, making 2 G's, all they're going to do is go, fuck, man. Yeah, if I was allowed to do whatever the fuck I want, I'd make the money too. That's what goes through their head. I fired my top 2 salespeople when I became a general manager, and our store increased that year. Our store increased the next freaking month. I got rid of the top 2 people. I almost lost my position. I had to look at my owner and go, dude, you told me to do this. You trusted me. Let me do this or get me out, because I can't do it if I have these 2. Both of them gone. And we increased sales that same month. The month after, we went up 50%. Not all top people are bad. There's some badass sons of bitches out there who lead stores, who do a lot of great stuff, that are great employees, but don't have that toxic bullshit. You will never maintain a staff. You will never grow a staff. Enforce your standards, have good standards, live your standards yourself. Make sure yourself and everybody that works for you knows what the hell your standards are. Write them down. Give them to people. The spoken word only goes so far. We teach people to close on paper. Why don't we teach people to lead on paper? It's not a bad thing. It's not micromanaging. Hey, dude, here's the standards. Because guess what? When you write them down, you don't have to micromanage. If all you do is say them every day, you're going to be micromanaging until the day you die. You give them a piece of paper. Hey, these are the core values. These are the standards of this company. This is what you will follow. That way, when Wes goes out and does some dumb shit, I pull Wes aside and he goes, I didn't know. I go, son of a bitch, you signed this piece of paper right there. It's not that you don't know Wes, it's that you don't care. And then Wes and I have a different conversation. And then Wes either leaves or he gets on board, but there's no gray area confusion. These are the standards. And don't be a, run like Hitler or some shit where it's so tight now and everyone hates you. But there are some standards you have to have within your business and within yourself. Your work standards, your employee standards should reflect the standards that you hold within your own life. Obviously, some of them are going to be slightly different, but have standards, have them written out, make sure everyone knows. For those of you that are working, W-2, you're working for yourself right now, you're just a salesperson, no, nothing wrong there, but have standards in your life. No, like you guys see Seth right now, red shirt right there, bottom left of my screen. I don't know where he is on your screen, but we saw him driving into work. So, a couple of his standards. This call was important enough for him to get on. Now he sits down at work, he's doing his thing, he's got his notepad out, he's starting the day. Ken, same thing. He was dressing half this damn time. Thank God we didn't go into the bedroom with him, but we got close. Wes, you're sitting in your car. Wes is always driving around, doing stuff, going out, solar appointments. Call's important for him enough to get on. Grace, you as well. We appreciate all of y'all. Grace, she looks like she's in her house, bedroom maybe, I don't know. Grace probably works from home, makes a lot of dials. So she's ready to go right after she gets off this. Hopefully she gets that phone burner running, burns through 600 calls today and has an awesome day. Have your standard. What's amazing about these calls is all of you are doing something else to help with your standards. You want to hear some shit. You want to learn from people who have been where you're looking to go to, and you're just looking for that next advantage or that next edge. Stay close, you guys. It's badass. Bill Gates said one thing that I disagree with. Bill Gates, when he would hire people, he would look for one man that could do the job of 10. It works to an extent. It works to an extent. There are some people out there. There are some very productive people, CEOs of companies that, the reason you're a CEO and you make $1 million a year is because you do 15 people's jobs that would make 100,000 a year. That's how you scale. But there is no one man on this earth that can do the job of a fucking army. No one. There's no one on this earth that could go outside right now and move a Volkswagen Bug. But actually there are. There's some big motherfuckers. But there's an analogy I'm looking for that no one can do, but if you got a team of people, they could accomplish it. Y'all get what I'm saying? Analogies are tough. I didn't prep one for this. I was going to move something heavy, and then I was like, well, how much could one guy move? I don't know.
I use the analogy, if you don't mind, just to help you out, man. I use the analogy, it's like sticks. One stick, easy to break. Multiple sticks wadded together, it's harder to break.
That works for me. I like that. And the amount of production you can get from a crew is awesome. Let's say you own a landscaping company, right? figured it out. You can only mow one lawn at a time, right? You can't be like there, like if you got a zero lot line, you can maybe push 2 mowers, but then when you come around, you're back to 1. Now, if you have 2 people, you're accomplishing 2 things at once. If you have 15 people, they could be doing 15 things at once. So yes, one person can, you know, produce a lot by themselves. They can hold a lot of positions, they can get shit done. But if you eventually get a team so strong where it's army-like, they'll be unstoppable. No one can do that shit. No one can mow 2 lawns at once. So we got 7 minutes left. Someone jump on. Let's ask some questions.
Hey,
Hey,
John,
I got a question. Who's freaking fired up on this beautiful Thursday morning, man? Raise some hands. Drop some ones in the chat. Hey, check this out. I was driving to work this morning and an epiphany happened, right? I was thinking about language. So I hear a lot of people, especially in sales, and right now in automotive, they're like, man, you know, that payment, that's pretty expensive. Or, you know, that markup, that's a lot of money. That car is really expensive. When you say that to yourself, you're already selling yourself that it's too expensive for the customer. So that way, when you go to ask for the money, you're not going to have the freaking confidence. And when you don't have the confidence, the customer is going to see that. And they're going to be like, damn, I'm not going to do that. The freaking salesman isn't even sold on it. Why the hell would I be sold on it? So really start analyzing your mouth and your language. I'm telling you guys, when you start really paying attention to the words you say in the language, it's not even when you go to sell something. The people around you, who's talking to you? What is your manager saying to you? What is your spouse saying to you? What are your friends saying to you? Keep that negative bullshit out of your life. Cut it out. Only positivity, only good stuff. And that's what Big Rowdy's got for today, baby. Come on, let's get after it. Love you guys. Woo!
Hey, no coconut water today?
I got a whole jug.
They've been paying me for you to endorse that.
Pretty soon. You're gonna do it.
The right there, it goes into a lot. If you say it's going to happen, if you tell yourself something's too expensive, if you're saying, hey, this life insurance policy is expensive, you know, you're selling life insurance policies without medical, you know, checkups, without medical visits, those policies cost a lot more. So Grace, if you're like, shit, no one's going to sign up for this shit. Grace, you know how many doctors' life lied to about not dipping? You know, not today's world, but alcohol consumption back in the day, about being a fat ass. You know how many times I've lied to myself on that? I like, Chris, I might be like, holy shit, I'm 26 and you can get me $500,000 for $250 a month. Sign my ass up. Because you know in your head, if you go get all those medical visits, that shit plummets as long as you pass. But a non-medical visit, life insurance policy, that shit's expensive. Don't tell yourself that though. A lot of people need them. Wes. All right.
what's up, man?
No, I'm kidding. Right now, dude, Wes, in the solar industry, man, you guys are killing it. The government has got your back. You guys are welcome. I am paying for everyone's solar projects. I support it. I don't know, I might buy a Prius. Wes, you've got an amazing time. Who here are my automotive guys? Seth, are you guys running ADMs, adjustments at your dealership? People still buying cars? Chapman Hyundai, when I was with Chapman Hyundai in Phoenix, 14 Hyundai dealerships in our PMA, in our area responsible, 14. Chapman Hyundai Phoenix, we had the highest market adjustment in Phoenix. We were the #2 store out of 14. We charged more than everybody. Price is fake. Corey, you guys got adjustments? Hell yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
iPhone user, what's your name, man? Blue shirt, black hat.
It's Jamie, bro.
Jamie? All right, man. Sorry, I don't recognize you guys always right away. Like I told Seth early on, Zoom accounts are free. Go ahead and register for one. Let's get your name on there so I know who you are. But hey, man, you look automotive. You guys running adjustments?
Yeah, brother. Yeah, we got that in addendums.
Okay, adjustments and addendums. Are they expensive?
It's at $14.99.
You don't care though, do you?
No.
Hell no, because it's fun. All right, everybody. Hey, I appreciate everyone getting on today. If you want, snap a photo real quick. I appreciate everyone following it. Next week, we didn't really end this week with anything to do. Next week, Chris and we're actually studying some, I'm not going to tell you what we're studying just yet, but we're studying some really good content right now. We're going to bring that to you. I'm going deep into studying social media. using social media for branding on a completely different scale. For any of you that want to hear a little bit about it, please shoot me a DM, please shoot me a text. For those, I think everyone here has my number. I think maybe 2 of you don't. I'm gonna leave it in the comments real quick, and then I'm gonna talk for just a second. If anyone wants to write it down and get deeper into that, please reach out. I've been recommended some incredibly good material to take my game to the next level as far as converting, get DMing the right people, targeting the right type of audience, and kicking ass. So, hey, everyone have a freaking awesome day. It's Thursday. For you automotive people, this is the start of your weekend. For you 1099 people that you work every damn day, have a freaking great one. I appreciate everyone. Y'all go kick ass.
Stay hungry, my friends.